What's up, everybody? It's Soren Baker on Unique Access, and today we're talking about best albums, joined by Dana Dane. Thanks for coming through, sir.
Yes.
Now, today we got one of our all-time favorite rap groups.
Yes, my favorite rap group of all time. There is no better group than this to me, and it's Whodini.
Yes.
And the album is Escape. Gotta get away.
Gotta get
Escape.
away, man. Now, man, I remember when this album came out, I hadn't even hit 10 yet, but so many of these songs made such an imprint on my life and really helped make me a huge rap fan. And there's a lot, it doesn't have that many songs on it, but we're gonna go through a lot of them because this is a landmark album for a lot of reasons for rap. Because I want you to explain, Dana, and this is 84, back then there weren't even that many rap albums coming out.
Yeah, I mean, having a record deal was
a big deal.
Yeah, it was a rarity at that time. And I still remember, because I just graduated out of high school, and I was working at McDonald's on 40th Street and 7th Avenue. And it's like, because the radio is kind of similar to now. They play a certain song almost every time, the same time of day. So I get into McDonald's, we unloading the truck, and we got this speaker on in the warehouse, where we putting the food at and stacking it up. And about anywhere between 8:10 and 8:45, they play either 5 Minutes of Funk or the Freaks Come Out at Night. One or the other is gonna play. And
well, let's go with Freaks Come Out at Night, man. Because this song, I just always remember thinking about, like, conceptually, like, who's gonna make a song called Freaks Come Out at Night? Like, just about the different way that people like changed to go out. Like, I thought it was like a crazy thought to even
I thought so too. I was like, why Freaks Come Out at Night?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it was dope though, because it spoke to, and I think that, it was really a great crossover song to me.
Absolutely.
I think it was a great crossover song because it didn't just speak to hip hop, but it spoke to the Freaks.
And a different segment.
And yeah, but you know what it is? Because hip hop was in that transition from disco and dance music into hip hop at that time.
Right.
So a lot of people used to go to the dance clubs like Bonds International in New York City. They had the Garage, and they used to have really the freaks out there. They used to have the leather and the lace and the tight pants. And when Jalil wrote the joint, and Ecstasy, of course, was one of the greatest voices in hip hop, I was like, yo, that's kind of dope. And when they do that song at the shows, people love it, man. They just like, because I think people are into Freaks.
Well, not only that, but I also think, and this is something that rap had gotten away from, because obviously in the late 70s and early 80s with Sugar Hill Gang and Curtis Blow, they had the live musicianship with the house bands, and when we got away from that for a couple years, but then Whodini with Larry Smith brought back the instrumentation and the melodies, and really having, like, granted a lot of it was keyboards or that type of stuff, but he really brought it back to musicianship and melody.
Yeah, because you know what? He didn't use a lot of samples. I don't even think he used any samples on that album.
I don't think so.
If I'm correct. But yeah, Larry is like the father of hip hop producing, man.
Yeah, man.
I mean, all the work that he did with Whodini, and of course with Run-DMC and some of the other groups before that, was incredible. It was musically and sonically dope, and it made me want to use less samples and use more real music and things of that sort. Even when I did some of my albums, when I did my first album, I tried not to, even if I used samples, I wanted it played over because of what, Larry Smith and Whodini did, with Freaks Come Out at Night. And then, the socially conscious, to me it was socially conscious, Friends.
Right.
I come on, Friends, like how many of, because, coming up in the hood, and I don't know which hood you came up in, but coming up in the hood.
Not Fort Greene, Brooklyn.
Yeah, not Fort Greene,
from Maryland.
Yeah. But,
shout out to Gambrels out there.
Hey, listen, man, Maryland got their own hood. That's it, But coming up, in Fort Greene, being able to trust somebody and call them your friend was big, and still to the day, that song resonates
Yeah, man. We see the fact that it resonated because obviously Nas used it.
Yeah.
With his biggest song in his career.
Oh yeah. You know what? I forgot all about Nas using that.
Nah, man.
Yeah,
Power of the World, man. He took Curtis Blow and Whodini.
Yeah.
And did a nice little mashup.
But I thought that was a great thing. Jalil is one of, he called himself the master rapper, and for songs like that, he is the master rapper because it really spoke to a generation in regards to it. Are people really your friends though, man? And
right.
and that song, and that's another one of those songs when you see them performing, people are really into it because everybody has had a fallout with somebody who they thought was their friend, they believed was their friend, and then they heard that Whodini song and say, "Word, Ja, word X." They faking, man.
Right.
They faking. So.
And I think. Another thing too is both with Freaks Come Out at Night and Friends, the choruses are so memorable. And I've seen Whodini perform in multiple states during a wide range of years. And the thing is when those songs in particular, those two, when they perform them, it's like the whole audience is so into the choruses and just singing them like they're Jalil and Ecstasy, man.
So let me tell you a little something about that in regards to what they were able to do, and because they're my inspiration as well as Slick Rick.
Right.
So I took the best of both worlds. So I got the storytelling aspect from my dude Slick Rick because we grew up on that, right?
Right.
But what Whodini brought is they always had a dope hook.
Yes, absolutely.
So I figured I'm gonna have a story, but it gotta have a Whodini-like hook.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? So when I did Nightmares, my first song, I took the idea from Whodini, but this is from the next album, of course, Haunted House of Rock.
Right.
Haunted House of Rock.
Right.
But I used the idea of the chorus for Nightmares. So and I was like, I gotta have a chorus like Whodini. So they had some of the dopest singing hooks early on in hip hop as well, and socially conscious, and even with Big Mouth.
Right. Yeah, because Big Mouth, man, that was one of the earlier songs that I heard. In addition to Freaks Come Out at Night a little bit, but like a lot of your early work too. But Big Mouth had a humor to it, and it had like an attitude, but it was a funny, humorous attitude that really wasn't prevalent, right? At least from all the rap.
No, it wasn't. You're right about that. But and then it had that drive and beat. Boom, boom, big mouth. Boom, boom. You got a big mouth. And see, it's another song that spoke to people directly because we went from the Freaks Come Out at Night, right? And then we went to 5 minutes. To Friends,
right?
And now we
Big
on
Mouth.
Big Mouth. Like you talk too much, man.
Right.
Why every time I tell you something, you got to go tell somebody, man? And that goes down.
And that's the other thing is to one of your earlier points is that Whodini was able to bring these kind of universal themes of life and relationships and bring them and make them in a way that resonated with people not only in the rap world, but then they were able to cross over because this was the first rap album to go platinum.
Yeah.
So it obviously resonated.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know if it's in the books as the first rap album to go platinum, but I think true hip hop it was the first rap album to go platinum. That's what I knew.
Brooklyn, right?
Yeah, straight out of Brooklyn, baby. Brooklyn first platinum artist.
Dana, one thing too with 5 Minutes of Funk, that one it had that song. As I knew later when I moved to the West Coast and got into LA, that song was really big out here because of the kind of the funk, obviously with the title. But what was it sonically about that song that you think stood out especially?
The way that it was set up for it just to be the ultimate party song.
Okay.
It was like,
And it jumped off the album. It's
It's the first song, and it's like they was counting down the fun that you're gonna have. We got 5 minutes left, and people knew it's boom, boom, boom. Come on, man. Larry Smith put it in, Then they got Grandmaster D on the turntables.
Right.
Dope, man. I mean, that song right there, man. 5 Minutes of Funk is just to me like the ultimate party joint, man. It just really is.
Now, do you remember the first time you heard it, or the first time you experienced it in a party, or saw them perform it?
Well, the first time I actually saw him perform it, I was backstage. It was Whodini, Run-DMC, Beastie Boys, and LL Cool J at Madison Square Garden. The first time I met Whodini actually too in person. Okay. So I met Grandmaster D first.
That's big.
Yeah. So Grandmaster D, I'm coming back there. I got on this Fox. I got on the Fox fur.
Okay.
So I'm walking in there. I got Nightmares out, my only song. And mind you, is was early 1985. I mean, late 1985. I've never been on the road for my own song.
Okay.
All right. So I did some shows in New York.
New York
That's about
area? Okay.
it. So now I'm meeting Whodini. I mean, I met Grandmaster. He took me backstage into the dressing room, and I met Jalo Ecstasy. So y'all gotta remember about this story, everyone. In hip hop back in the days, there was a rite of passage type of thing.
Right.
It ain't like you can just put out records now and you just big on the internet and then
Things
people
weren't handed to
you.
you.
You just accept it. No, you had to meet the other artists and they had to say, okay, little dude, you can hang, you know,
Right.
kind of thing. But I met Jalo and Ecstasy backstage. And they weren't really all that interested in meeting me at the time. They're like, yeah, you got one song, we like it, but go do some more work, basically. So the Grandmaster D tells me that in 2 weeks, they going on the road, you know, for the whole tour. And, you know, I should come. I was like, yeah, bet, I'll come. I'm not thinking nothing of it. 2 weeks go by, and Grandmaster D called me and said, yo, Dane, we going. Meet us downtown with your bag. Man, I packed some stuff real quick, ran downtown, and the next thing you know, I'm on the road with Whodini. And I've never been out of the States on my own song. And so now, I'm on stage, and they're performing 5 Minutes of Funk. I think we're in Virginia or something like that.
Wow.
And the crowd, right before they put on 5 Minutes of Funk, they said, hold up, yo, we want to bring somebody out for you. And Grandmaster G throws on Nightmares. And I walk out, and it's like 15,000, you know, whatever,
right.
And the crowd goes crazy. And I just do a little quick verse, I go off, and I'm backstage like, they know me! Because I've never been out of the States, so I didn't know anybody knew me outside of New York. So that's like one of my greatest Whodini stories right there. But after that, they threw on 5 Minutes of Funk.
Okay.
And the crowd went bananas. Right. I mean, crazy. But I've never seen anything like that because they used to close out the show for the most part.
Right,
you know,
right.
So Whodini was big. That's like I said, my favorite group.
And since it's your favorite group, what is the legacy of the Escape album by Whodini?
Well, other than being the first platinum
rap
album, you know, I don't even think the Sugar Hills album did that because I think it came out later on, right?
Yeah, no.
No, I don't even think they did it, but it was the first, and they from Brooklyn, so I'm from Brooklyn, so gotta love that.
Yes.
They, to me, set up a socially conscious, and I don't know if this is the right word, but it's like R&B hip hop to me almost. It's like they brought debonair and elegance into hip hop. Without losing the raw substance of what hip hop is, you know what I mean? So they were able to have socially conscious lyrics, dope music, original music, dope choruses, still have that hip hop foundation with a worldwide appeal.
And the showmanship.
That's right. And the showmanship and I think they were the first probably to have dancers too.
Yeah, Doc
Ice and the UTFO and Kango Kid.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So before UTFO was UTFO, they danced for Whodini, y'all. So that's another tidbit for you all.
Well, there it is, another episode of Best Albums here on Unique Access. I'm Soren Baker.
Dana Dane.
Appreciate you coming through Whodini Escape. If y'all don't know it, you need to go listen to it and check it out.